All right, in this video, I'm going to show you how I made 8.6% on NVDA in just 2 days, even as its price just moved sideways. And I'm going to show you how you can set up your trade so that you can duplicate my results. Now, not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Every uh, trade has or investments have risk, including options, which is my specialty. So I'm going to show you how I did it, and this is just for edutainment purposes only. All right. So do your own research. All right. So in this video, I will show you a strategy that may be 8.6% return in just 2 days, and it's a quick 8.6% return on Nvidia, even as Nvidia stock just moved sideways. All right. So here's the summary of this. On my spreadsheet in here. So I call it the twin butterfly trade, and I made $228 on $2,652 in capital for an 8.6% return, again in just 2 days. All right, so let me show you my actual live account in here so that you know that this is for real and I'm not making things up. All right, so here is on NVIDIA, and this is the actual trade. I entered at February 9 and I exited February 11, and I entered a new trade on February 12. So the realized PNL is 227.52, which is close to the 228. So I guess I paid 48 cents on commission on Webull by placing this trade. All right, so now let me show you why I did the trade. Okay, so let's go back here, and on NVIDIA, I placed the trade right here, which is February 9 around close to 10 o'clock. And then I exited February 11, 10:30 is what it's showing here. So it's around 10:20 something. So I exited right there at 189. As you can see here, I entered at 190.96, and then I exited 189.21, or 189 basically. So that $1 drop in price resulted in a 8.6% return, again in just 2 days, which is crazy, right? So the strategy is again the twin butterfly trade. And so why did I do that? And well, first of all, what is the twin butterfly trade? So the twin butterfly trade, if you go to option strat, and let's say I want to do that on, let's say, Palantir, okay? So on Palantir, basically the price right now is $131, right? So what I would do is, I will find out what's the expected move of Palantir stock, right? So as I record this video, it's a Monday and it's a bank holiday, so markets are closed. But what I typically will do is I'll find out what's the expected move, right? So on Palantir, the way to calculate the expected move is you go to the expiry date, right? And what's the at the money put, which is the at the money call is 338, and the at the money put is 388. So the total price, the total cost is 726. So the expected move is $7.26 of Palantir stock in the next 4 days, right? By Friday. That's the expected move. So what I do is I add a little bit to that. So let's say $8, right? So in Palantir, right? So I will place a long call butterfly, and the width of that will be $8, right? Because that's the expected move. It's about $7.26. So I add a little bit to that, so 139, right? And then expiry date February 20, and then 139 plus 8, that will be 147. So this is the butterfly right there, right? So that's the long call butterfly, right? So the long call butterfly by itself, the way, so it's kind of like designed to be a little bit bullish in here, right? So if Palantir goes up, then this makes money, right? However, the twin butterfly is intended to be more neutral, right? So what I would do is I would place a trade which is a put butterfly on the opposite side, right? So 130 and then sell a put for 130 minus 8, which is 122, right? And we need two of those. And then, in order to complete the butterfly, 122 minus 8, right? That will be 114, right? So a long put butterfly is basically you sell a put in the middle of two long puts. And the long call butterfly is you sell a call in between two uh, long calls, right? And the risk profile or the P&L profile looks like this at expiry. And so what I do is I don't let it expire. I exit, as you've seen there. I entered Monday, February 9, and I exited Wednesday, February 11, right? So I can do the same thing here. However, it's bank holiday today, so I'll probably extend it to Thursday at around, let's say, 10 a.m. Now, I'm not saying that I will do this trade. I'm just showing you how to do this trade, let's say, on Palantir, right? And the risk reward goes like this, right? So as it approaches expiry, then the P&L profile becomes more pronounced, right? And the middle and in the middle you'll have this valley of loss, right? You know, uh, and so yeah, whereas closer to expiry date, right? It's more shallow, right? So you lose less, but you also make less, right? And so the nice thing about the twin butterfly trade is that you don't need a big price movement in order to have a big big profit, right? So literally, let's say for Palantir, let's say it moved by a few dollars, right? So let's say from 131, it moved by $3, $4. There you go. It's a 15% profit on Wednesday, right? Like literally, let's say you place this tomorrow, Tuesday, because again, it's holiday today. And so in 24 hours, you can make 15% when the stock only moved 3.2%, right? And obviously, you need it to move, you know, on to either side, right? And so this twin butterfly strategy works well for a volatile stock, but somehow the volatile stock is range bound. So if you go to the chart in here, so let's say Palantir, right? So what I typically do is so obviously I need to know whether it's trending up or trending down. Okay. And on the daily chart, let's choose the daily chart in here. Where's the daily chart? And I also did I also did a trade on Palantir the other day. So yeah, so on Palantir, the trend is downwards, okay, as I record this video. So why? Because the price of the stock right now, or at least last Friday, right, is below the 50 EMA, which is the green, and the 10 EMA, which is the red, is below the 20 EMA, and therefore this is on a bearish downtrend. And so what I do is I monitor, the trend on a daily, on a weekly, and on a 1 hour basis. And if there's kind of like a conflict between them or among them, so let's say the weekly time frame is bullish, but the daily time frame is bearish, then the twin butterfly will be a perfect strategy for it, because then in or i- because you're not sure whether it will go down, right? So it might go down, but it might also go up, right? And so the twin butterfly can be a good strategy there so that so you make money whether the stock goes up or it goes down, right? As long as it is not trending up or it's not crashing down, right? As long as you're within this range, then you should be fine. However, again, you have to be ready to accept, let's say, a 16% loss, if it doesn't really move by much, but on the other hand, you can make a 20%, 27% profit, right? So depending on your risk tolerance, it might be a good trade for you. And for me, as long as it's more than 1:1 in terms of the potential profit versus the potential loss, right? Then it's a worthwhile trade, and obviously if it's even better than that or higher than one, then it's even better, right? So, and then how you place it on Robinhood, for example, let's say, you want to do this exact trade, you want to twin butterfly, right? So you choose the expiry date, and then, what did we choose here? We chose the 131, 139, 147, right? So we go here, we chose the 131, right? So we start with a call, we buy 131 plus 8, that's the expected move, right? Little bit higher than 7.26, right? And so 131 plus 8, that will be 139. You sell the 139 call, and then you buy the 147 call, right? And then the way you do it, you click on custom, and you have two contracts that you sell. So it should look like a triangle, right? And your max loss is 211, and your max profit is 589. So again, that's one of the reasons why I love the butterfly trade, because your max loss is less than your max gain. However, again, this PNL profile is only true at expiry, and I don't let it expire. I exit at the latest, like 1 day before expiry if I can, right? I might extend it to like 4 hours before expiry, but I never let it expire, okay? Because then you have risk of assignment. You also have gamma risk, right? So you want to minimize those risks, and therefore you exit long before the expiry, sometimes a day or even 2 days before expiry, as you have seen, right? So, if you think, I've earned it, you benefited from this video, definitely like this video. I will really appreciate it. It will help support the channel. And if you want to learn more about stock options, and I also compete in the US Investing Championship, you want to follow my journey where I share with you my wins, my losses, and what I'm learning in the process, definitely subscribe to this channel. And if, you'd like to know why you should not buy the dip, but instead you should buy the rip, and I've shown proof, then definitely watch this next video, and I will see you there.